Welcome to InfoSource, a presentation of Berkshire Healthcare Systems, a not-for-profit system of post-acute healthcare services including long-term care, short-term rehabilitation, independent living, assisted living, memory care programs, and hospice services available to our neighbors and families here in the Berkshires and beyond. I'm your host, Rachel Colosino, and my guests for today's show are Pat Kirby and Karen Williams, who are from Kimball Farms in Lenox. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So today we're going to discuss a program called Stepping On, which is a fall prevention program for older adults. And Pat, you are the community care coordinator for Kimball Farms, and Karen, you are the community wellness nurse for Kimball Farms. And you two are very special. You're the first Stepping On instructors in the entire state of Massachusetts, so we're honored to have you here. And Kimball Farms is actually the only community in Massachusetts that currently offers Stepping On. So I want to start with the basics. Pat, what exactly is Stepping On?
Well, Stepping On is a evidence-based fall prevention program that was developed in 2004 in Sydney, Australia by two physical therapists. It was brought to the United States in 2007 and adapted to the United States, and it was the first state to have this. It was brought to Wisconsin, and now Stepping On is in 19 states. What it is, it's a evidence-based fall prevention program, community-based. It empowers the participants to take ownership about their actions and their behaviors to prevent falls.
Okay.
It consists of a meeting once a week for 2 hours, and the meetings are the program lasts for 7 weeks, and we do a number of activities dealing a lot with exercise to improve balance and strength. And we have other activities such as we have a vision specialist come to speak with us, and a pharmacist, and even an EMT or a community specialist. It's nice to have people from the outside come and speak to the participants as well. And it's a very good program. It's recognized by the Centers for Disease Control and the National Council on Aging as an evidence-based proven program.
That's great. So I understand that there are common themes that run throughout the program. So Karen, can you describe those for us?
Yes, there's a number of common themes that we follow through Stepping On. And one of the major themes is that falls are not a normal part of aging. And once you have a fall, a person really develops a fear of falling, and therefore it's a cycle. And it hinders their activities, and therefore they're more at risk for falling again. We teach through the program that with knowledge you can control falls. We teach balance and strengthening exercises, which we carry out through all the 7 sessions. We also explain that older and younger people alike fall, but your chances of having an injury are much greater when you're older. You know, with the balance and the strengthening, that will protect the participants against falling. So that is the major themes. Another theme, rushing. We put a lot of emphasis on rushing, and that comes up over and over again. And the underlying theme for the program is a positive attitude.
I've heard you talk too about the need to build up confidence and validate the fact that residents can be safe and be independent, and this is what the workshop tries to do as well, right? Pat, I just want to go back to something that you had said before. You described the program as evidence-based. So what does evidence-based mean?
Evidence-based means that actual research was done and statistics were gathered. So what happened in Australia when these two physical therapists did their study, they had 310 participants over 65 years of age, and they studied their behaviors with the class for 429 days. And after that period, collecting data of falls over that time, through this program, they succeeded in achieving a 31% reduction in fall rate, which proved the success of the program. And since there are so many evidence-based programs, this is one that was selected to be brought to the United States because it's not a random, it's an evidence-based proven study to prevent falls.
It's proven that it works.
Yes.
Great. Karen, how big are the classes, and can you tell us more about the classes?
Yeah, the ideal class will have 10 to 14 participants, and it's a small group setting, and that's what you want, because we need the participants to be comfortable speaking, participating, and actually developing a trust in each other. Falls are a difficult thing, and people come and are hesitant to share that unless they're in a comfortable setting. The program is multifactorial, which has been proven to reduce falls. So in our program, we talk about a multitude of things, from home hazards, medication risks, vision as it relates to falls, coping after having a fall, footwear, community and outdoor safety, and the exercises that I mentioned earlier. Pat mentioned about the 4 guest speakers that come in during our 7 sessions, and they're really helpful because the vision specialist speaks about how often to have an eye exam, the hazards of wearing bifocals when you're walking, also cataracts, glaucoma. We have our own physical therapy assistant, Peg Simony, at Kimball Farms, and she's been a great help in making this very successful for us. We also have a pharmacist who talks about side effects of medications, the risks of taking sleep medications, the importance of medication records, and a community safety expert. We had somebody from Chris Long come in from Lennox Fire and an ambulance, and he was great because he talked to them about, you know, the dangerous intersections in Lennox, or you know, could really make it specific for our residents, and also the dangers of, you know, the cell phones and the texting, and how, you know, it's their awareness. It's not that they're at fault for any of, you know, the accidents happen. So it's an overall awareness that we really bring to the forefront.
That's great, and I can understand if you're teaching older adults are going to learn differently than children, for example. So what are some of the different teaching methods that you use, Pat, to teach this population?
Well, you want them to assume decision-making for themselves. So you want to make them feel independent. You validate their opinions and you accept them. So the atmosphere is non-threatening. We try to make it very casual and fun. We laugh, we encourage everyone to speak. Karen and I are not instructors, we're facilitators of the program. So much of what we do is leave open-ended questions for the participants to answer. So they may not be getting their answer to why they fell in their kitchen from us. It might come from other participants, such as, well, maybe if your chair was in a different place, or maybe if there was better lighting, or maybe if you bought new slippers, that wouldn't have happened. So a lot of it is sharing from our own experience, having them realize that they are the experts. They know this information. It's just a matter of reminding each other and having them accept responsibility for changing their behaviors to prevent falls. So we do that more in a facilitative mode than instructor mode.
Because we all share an interest in learning.
Right.
Right. So I understand that the way that Stepping On starts is that you share your own fall stories, so to try to make people feel more comfortable and understand that your role is a facilitator and not an instructor who's going to be lecturing to them. So Karen, what's your fall story?
Yeah, the storytelling is a really important part to the program, and the story that I tell is I was going out one evening with my son and my dog, and it was dusk, and we went out and we did grab a flashlight. And off we went for a walk, and we're going around the block, and of course, instead of using the flashlight to watch where we're walking, my son's shining it in windows. So we went up and around the block, and we almost made it home, and there was a pothole that was covered with leaves. So I stepped in that, I fell, I twisted my ankle, I lost my dog, went flying, my son was upset. And, you know, as I was sitting there, I was thinking, my God, if I can't get up, how is this going to affect me and my life from here forward? I mean, I was lucky I got up. I had some scrapes and, you know, a bruised knee, and I was very embarrassed that that happened. But I was lucky, and I was really able to use that experience when we started our classes.
When you were thinking about the fall prevention, right. And Pat, what's your fall story?
I have a fall story as well, and one of the reasons we give our own fall stories is it shows our own vulnerability to falls, because everyone has fallen. It doesn't matter what your age. We can all do things to prevent falls. So my story is I was leaving work one day and had my arms full of papers, as I sometimes do leaving work, and in a rush, and went out my back door and could not see my feet, and I tripped. The sidewalk was slightly uneven, and I tripped, and my papers went all over, and I was really embarrassed because it was near the parking lot, and there was people there that could see me. And so I quickly gathered up my papers, got in my car, and went home. And it was not until I went home that I realized I had a hole in my pants, scrape on my knees, scrapes on my forearms, and that I had really hurt myself, even though I didn't want to initially admit it. And as the day went on, and the next day, I was really in a lot of pain from falling. So the pain came on gradually. And this really brought home to me that when you fall, you don't necessarily feel the impact of the fall immediately, but that sometimes as time goes on, you can really see how badly you hurt yourself.
And that it's important to see where you're going and if the pavement is uneven.
And so many things. Don't carry your arms where you can't see your feet, and look at the pavement. Make sure you're wearing the right shoes outside. Do not hurry. Many things I learned from that experience.
That you were able to share with the class, right? Okay, great. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to hear more about Kimball Farms. We'll be right back.
Kimball Farms is the only life care retirement community in Western Massachusetts, offering a full continuum of care through its unique life care model. As a life care community, Kimball Farms residents have the unparalleled advantage and peace of mind of knowing that they will be provided with the assisted living or nursing care services they may someday need, without having to worry about increased medical expenses. Kimball Farms offers an active and rewarding lifestyle in our newly renovated independent living apartments that are fully appointed with the amenities of home. Residents enjoy the multitude of additional living space beyond the individual apartments, which include a dining room, cafe and pub, library, wellness clinic, fitness center, art room, country store, and much more. All on a beautifully landscaped estate with ample outdoor space and walking trails. The Kimball Farms campus houses the Pine Hill Assisted Living Complex. Pine Hill residents enjoy efficiency-style apartments that simplify each day, making it easier to live a full life. Residents also enjoy the use of the community space, like the country kitchen, library, and activities rooms. At Pine Hill, residents receive support with activities of daily living, like medication reminders, personal care assistance, housekeeping, and meals. Pine Hill Assisted Living is offered as part of the life care option or as a monthly rental option. The Kimball Farms campus also houses the Life Enrichment Program, specifically for people with Alzheimer's or related memory impairments. The Life Enrichment Program offers a specialized habilitative program and philosophy that sets up a failure-free environment for those with Alzheimer's or related other dementias. The Life Enrichment Program is offered as part of the life care option or as a monthly rental option. Only 1 mile away from the Kimball Farms campus sits Kimball Farms Skilled Nursing Center. The Nursing Center offers short or long-term care for people in need of post-operative or long-term skilled nursing care. The Nursing Center is offered as part of the life care option or at the daily rate, and accepts Medicare, Medicaid, and a variety of commercial insurances. Kimball Farms, a life care community, offers life care, a desirable lifestyle for whatever your individual preferences or needs are, and a lifelong continuum of support. Call us today at 1-800-283-0061 for a personal tour. We look forward to meeting you.
Welcome back. We are here with Pat Kirby and Karen Williams from Kimball Farms in Lenox, and we are learning about Stepping On, which is an evidence-based fall prevention program for older adults. You two are the first Stepping On instructors in the entire state of Massachusetts, and Kimball Farms is the only community in the state to offer this program. So I want to go into really the need for fall prevention. So Karen, why is a fall prevention program so necessary?
You know, our population is aging and people are living longer and with chronic diseases, and the statistics are very high. 1 in 3 adults age 65 or older fall each year. And falls-related injuries are the leading cause of death for older adults. 20 to 30% of people who suffer falls have severe injuries. And even if they're not, I think I mentioned before, even if they didn't get injured, this fear of falling causes a lack of, you know, they're
not moving around.
They're not moving
They're worried
around.
to move
Yes,
around, right?
exactly. And the total direct cost for fall injuries in older adults in 2010 were near $30 billion and are expected to reach $54 billion by 2020. At Kimball Farms, we've seen devastating effects from falls. We've seen residents go from independent living to the nursing care center and really never come back to independent living. And it's difficult because they're like our family. So we really have seen the effects of falls.
You want them to be as strong and as balanced and as healthy as possible,
Absolutely.
Of course. So Pat, how exactly does Stepping On work, and how does it work to prevent falls?
We focus a lot on exercise to improve balance and strength. We have exercises, the balance exercises the participants do daily, the strength exercises they do 3 times a week. We not only have them do them and practice them in classes, we explain each exercise and exactly what it is good for. Such as walking sideways, we tell them, well, this is good when you go to church. And this is good when you're going to your seat in the auditorium. So each exercise has a specific idea as far as how it prevents falls, like getting up from a chair. So each one has, you know, really a good purpose. The exercises were not chosen randomly. We encourage the use of adaptive equipment. We have display tables that have things like yak tracks, things that go on the bottom of your shoes to grip when you have ice, adapters for the bottom of a cane that could grip ice. Lighting for your home, motion sensor lighting, lights that come on when it gets dark and go off when it's light again. Things that you can use in your bathroom to, you know, shower seats, all different kinds of adaptive equipment we borrow. Today, we had a class earlier today, we showed a myriad of canes and what was different about each cane. So there's a world of adaptive equipment out there that really comes handy for these people to use. When we have our guest speaker, who is usually the EMT, someone from the community, they talk specifically about crossing the streets. When you're out and about, how to be safe, how to safely get in and out of your car, how to safely cross at a crossroad. We have many people that walk into town from Kimball Farms during the better months, and with traffic, they must know how to be safe crossing the road. When our vision person comes, they talk mainly about having an annual exam every year, keeping your glasses clean so that you can see out of them, and the problem that people can have with bifocals when it comes to depth perception and stepping off of curbs and going downstairs. Our medication specialist that comes, which is usually a pharmacist, talks about which medications can make them dizzy, thus making them, fall. And they talk about how important it is about having a up-to-date medication card. They also talk about orthostatic hypotension, which is getting dizzy when you stand up suddenly, because people from standing to sitting or lying down to standing up sometimes become dizzy, and how some of the medications we take might affect that. So everything that we do is geared towards things that people can learn to make adjustments in their life so that they don't fall.
Very comprehensive. Yeah. So when participants finish the classes, Karen, is there a graduation ceremony? What happens?
Well, we did have our own graduation ceremony, but we do give a certificate of completion for the stepping on, and we have a booster class in 3 months to follow up and to see how everybody's doing, whether they're continuing with the exercises. The beauty of Kimball Farms is that we see these residents on a daily or weekly basis, so we've touched base with them since the program. The participants are really looking forward to getting together again to talk about the program and the changes that they've made in their lives.
What are the criteria that need to be met for people to attend the program?
The criteria, ideally, we have a range, but it should be for adults 65 and older, people that are at risk for falling or do have a fear of falling, are cognitively intact, because they really do need to participate and be able to go home and do the homework to make this program work for them. They should be living independently or in an independent facility. And they should be able to walk basically with a cane inside. They can use a walker for outside use, but that is the main criteria.
Okay, and I know it's too early to see the results, but what's the feedback you've been getting from the residents?
We sent out evaluations, and our feedback has been very, very positive. They felt that the information was very, very helpful. And a lot of the information they said wasn't new, but it brought it to the forefront. And they have used the information. They are still practicing their exercises. They loved the small group setting and actually are really missing the program and getting together every week. They liked the ability to speak freely and share their feelings about their falls and about what they're learning. A lot of them spoke about the sense of humor and the laughing that we did do a lot of that during the class. And they loved the displays that Pat talked about with all the canes, and some of them did order some adaptive devices to use in their home. Very positive.
Sounds great. Pat, can you tell us the story of someone who's benefited greatly from stepping on?
Well, there was one particular resident an elderly woman who lived on the second floor of Kimball Farms, who was visually impaired. And one of the reasons she came to class is because she was very frightened if there was a fire to happen in the building. How would she get out of the building? If the elevators were shut down, she wouldn't be able to exit the building. When we discussed this, her feelings, and that they were valid feelings, and that we would all try to really think and see how we could help her. So we told our physical therapy assistant about her problem, and we had the physical therapy assistant work with this resident for about 20 minutes one afternoon and practiced going downstairs and upstairs sideways, because she could feel the upper or lower step with the next foot, so holding on to the rail with two hands. And she practiced that just up and down several stairs for about 20 minutes. And well, after a few days, she came into my office and she said, "I cannot tell you, I'm so happy. I have been practicing going up and down the stairs every day, going down sideways, up and down, and I am no longer afraid. If there's ever a fire, I will be okay." And that was just so gratifying for us to think that we were able to facilitate the dissolvement of that fear this woman had.
It's amazing. That's really powerful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for being here today. And again, Pat and Karen are the only Stepping On instructors in the state of Massachusetts. Kimball Farms is the only community to offer Stepping On in Massachusetts. And this has been InfoSource, presentation of Berkshire Healthcare Systems.